Hey there, this is Denise with Modern Priscilla Tarot and Tarot at 12, and this is Pick a Card. Today's question, am I pregnant? So let us find out. Okay, today I have the Gaian Tarot spread out. Has a very nice, gentle energy, and I thought it would be perfect for this pick a card question. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to live shuffle and set out 4 piles. Now, once I have the piles all set up, I am going to invite you to select a pile, and I will put timestamps in the description, so that way you can fast forward or jump around to wherever you need to. So let us get started. Am I pregnant? Okay, we're going to do 4 piles, as I said, and each pile will have 4 cards. Now, if numbers are something that matter to you and that you pay attention to, number 1, ones typically mean new beginnings and opportunity. The number 2 typically stands for balance and partnership. The number 3 usually stands for creativity and social interactions. And the number 4 usually stands for structure, stability, and manifestation. If numbers are not something that you are, drawn to, then just disregard. All right, let me straighten out these piles for you. Okay, oops, there we go. Jish. All right. Again, pause the video if you need some extra time. What I invite you to do is clear your mind, focus on the question, am I pregnant? See where your attention is drawn and select a pile. All right, we're going to start pile number 1. Let's find out what you've got. The question is, am I pregnant? Yeah, this deck has such a beautiful kind of calm energy, very natural, earthy kind of energy. Thought it was perfect for this question. Sorry, I got to pull up my sleeves. There we go. All righty, the question is, am I pregnant? And here we have our guardian of fire. This is the King of Wands. The King of Wands is all about action, a go-getter, somebody who makes things happen. It's fire, so that's wands, so it's tons of energy and passion. This is looking good, pile 1. 7 of air. Now this is, look at this guy. He's planning out, if I can pick it up. 7 of air is 7 of swords. And here he's picking up, picking up the card, I almost said. He's looking at a map, trying to plan his next move and where he's going to go. You notice there are mountains, so it might be something that is, a lot of work. There's some difficulty sometimes, but he has got a map, so he knows where to go. Next, we have our hermit. Now, the hermit is kind of all about self-reliance. Now, when you're pregnant, you have to count on yourself because you need to make the right choices to eat properly, to go to your doctor's visits, take your medication or your vitamins or, whatever is unique to your situation. And only you know your body. So, keeping touch with, when you need to rest, when something, warrants a call to the doctor. I mean, you have to kind of be really in tune with yourself. We have the Child of Air. This is our Page of Swords. And this is all about new ideas. This is somebody who's very adaptable. So, pile 1, this is looking like it might be a pregnancy. It's looking real good. As I said, this king here, he's a go-getter. And I love that these two are here. Again, planning the journey, meaning, okay, I have 9 months. I have to go to the doctor X times. I need to take my vitamins, so forth. So it's making a plan. And sometimes, you might not feel well, or you're very exhausted, tired. And sometimes that feels like you're climbing a mountain, right? Then, as I said, taking care of yourself makes total sense, pulls into a pregnancy. And this, the child of air, the page, this is, again, new ideas, being adaptable. You got to be adaptable when your body's changing so much when you're pregnant. So this is looking really good. Again, as always, this is not a substitute for medical attention. I am not a doctor, and these are reading the energy of the moment for a likely outcome. So it is looking like you may be pregnant, pile 1. And if you're not at this very second, it is definitely on the horizon. So the answer to the question for you, pile 1, is looking like a yes. Oh, that's exciting. Pile number 2. Let's see what you've got, pile number 2. Am I pregnant? Oh boy, this looks really good, pile 2. Looking really good. Okay, so we have the world here. The world is about accomplishment. It's about this reaching the end of a cycle. And having it all. So that's having, there's so many things that obviously this, that when you're pregnant, you have to be thinking about a ton of things, not only your physical health and well-being, but all the little details about moving forward, selecting the proper doctor, finding the right home, getting the things you need, the supplies, perhaps furniture. There's a lot of things, a lot of details. And this is showing me that you kind of can wrap it all up and get it done. It's also, again, like I said, the completion of a cycle. How interesting, the word cycle. And so this is looking good. Here we've got our Ace of Cups. Do you know what this is? A new love. A new love. How can you love anything more than your child? You can't. Trust me. As much as you think and as much as you might love somebody else, once you have your child, you're going to say to yourself, I never knew I could love somebody this much. And it's going to be very true. All right, here we've got our 5 of Fire. This is the 5 of Wands. The 5 of Wands is kind of about working out the kinks. This is about, kind of struggling a bit and trying to find the center and being successful. As we see fire, it is passion, it is heat. And as I said, the 5 is all about change and kind of feeling a little unstable. Your body's going to be going through so much, and your emotions are going to be all over the place, most likely. So, you might be reading into things more than you need to. Things that bother you today as a pregnant person would not bother you when you're not pregnant, things like that. So this is very clear that I think that's why that is showing up. Lastly, we have the star of hope, the star that leads you where you need to go. And most importantly, for this particular reading, it is accomplishment and recognition. That is a positive pregnancy. So this is looking really good, pile 2. As always, please check in with your medical provider. I am not a doctor, and the tarot cards read the energy of the moment. So what this is saying is it is looking like a yes. And the energy is always swirling. So from this point on, a snapshot of this energy is a yes for you, pile 2. Ooh, well, good luck. Check in with your doctor, stay really on top of that, and good luck. Pile number 3. Let's see what you've got, pile 3. The question is, am I pregnant? Okay. Let's see what we've got. Okay, we have our Emperor. The Emperor is somebody who's very much in control, somebody who knows what they want, and somebody that makes things happen. However, right next to it, we have our 9 of Air. The 9 of Air is all about anxiety and overthinking. It's kind of the card that you'd think of like staying up, being kept up late at night with, upsetting thoughts or concerns, trying to get pregnant. That is obviously a huge life decision that is clearly going to enter into every aspect of your life. That alone can be overwhelming sometimes. But when you're trying to get pregnant and you're, finding a negative result each month or whatever, you're obviously, when you're not pregnant, it's very upsetting. I mean, this is something, as the Emperor, you've decided to do, and that you are paying attention to things. You might even be taking your temperature. You might even be, charting things like that. You might even be seeing a fertility specialist. You might just be playing it by ear and see what happens. But as the Emperor, feeling like this uncertainty is causing you this stress and anxiety. Here, what I can see is the King of Pentacles. In this deck, it is called the Elder of Earth. The King of Pentacles is somebody who is very successful, kind of like a financial, person. Obviously, having a child would involve finances, but this is not like a finance reading. So let's kind of pull some other meaning in there from what this king means. Now, this king is also very sensible, very, thinks through things and is very logical about things. And this is also somebody who appreciates others and wants to point out how well other people are doing. Next, we have our 4 of Air, and this is about kind of rest, relax, and reflect. So what I'm thinking, pile number 3, it looks like, this is fantastic the way you're starting it. This overthinking, while totally natural, you're a human being and you have thoughts and feelings, but this might be getting in your way. Our mind is so connected to our body in ways that we don't even consciously realize unless we really dig in, we don't realize it. So sometimes these overthinking, which again, it's kind of a tricky situation. Like, how do you not, when you're worried, and then at the same time, so how do you stop, I guess, is what I'm saying. And the answer to that is to be paying attention to your thoughts. Those overthinking moments, those anxiety moments, you're doing nothing for yourself, except for potentially, maybe you're hurting yourself. But, at the very least, you're doing nothing. What are those thoughts doing for you? Are they changing things? No. Are they making you feel better? Absolutely not. So again, it's just pointless to overthink. Unless it's going to get you to the thinking, brings you to a conclusion or something that you need to decide. Obviously, we have to pay attention to those kinds of things, but this is something you want really badly. So, the tendency to overthink is totally understandable, but you do need to get a hold of that. Now here we have our promoter. I'm wondering if you have a friend that is also pregnant right now, or a family member, or who just recently had a new baby. I think this is obviously you want to have a child as well. But when you're seeing somebody else or somebody that also it inspires a little bit of envy. You're happy for your friend or your family member, and you're hoping they'll do well, of course. But that makes you feel like, well, hey, what about me? kind of thing. Do you see what I'm saying? So I don't know if maybe you have somebody else in your life who could be potentially pregnant as well. If not, it could be that, you're watching and you're seeing like, oh, this famous person is pregnant again, or oh, my neighbor is pregnant. So it doesn't have to be a close person, but it's definitely kind of looking at that and being envious. And now here is our Four of Air. Again, rest, reflect, relax. So what this is saying is you might not be pregnant right now. You might not be pregnant right now. However, it will come. You are the emperor. You can take care of this and make this happen. How? You need to stop this. This is kind of getting in your way. How do you stop this? By being the Four of Air, by resting, relaxing, reflecting. Calm down the overthinking and anxiety. And if there is somebody that's kind of making you feel envious, or, seeing stories about so-and-so on TV is pregnant or whatever, stop watching that stuff. Stop looking at that stuff. Stop. It has nothing to do with you. You are focused. You are going to make this happen. You are the emperor. So I do believe it's coming, but I think you need to get out of your own head. So pile number 3, this is looking like probably not right now, but it is coming. Yeah, and look at how perfect. Eggs in a nest. What? Yeah. So that looks good. Pile number 3. It's a future pregnancy for sure, but I think you need to stop that thinking, because it's probably not right now. Okay. Pile number 4. Let's see what you have. Pile number 4. The question is, am I pregnant? Okay, pile number 4. Have you perhaps had some bad news? Have you had a miscarriage or something like that? The reason I ask is because here we have our 3 of Air. The 3 of Air is typically about going through something that causes you stress or heartache prior to this. So these 2 cards here, what I'm seeing here is the King of Cups. This is somebody who, is kind of floating around on the water, as you'll see in this card, and just kind of to themselves and thinking and wandering on, doing whatever. He is Cups. So this is love and emotion and things like that. But he is alone and he's floating on this calm water. He is typically an introvert. He really doesn't like change. Then we have our 10 of Earth. This is about the success. This is the success ultimately. Well, and being Earth, it's usually about financial success, but it's also including the family, and feeling secure, which includes financial success and so forth. And then we have our 3 of Air. So what I'm thinking with these first 3 cards is perhaps, there was an attempt to get pregnant and it might have been successful. And then something might have happened and it no longer is a viable pregnancy, or you've had some bad news in some way. It could also be some kind of situation where you were all ready to get started on this journey and then something happened that made you kind of stop. Like, let's do this. We've decided, let's have a baby. And then next month you lose your job, or something like that, which in any way, it's stopped. So you weren't able to complete this journey. But guess what? We've got the Fool. This is the master of new journeys. This is the master of starting a new beginning and kind of just jumping out there and getting it done. So I do believe a pregnancy is coming. I think you're kind of dealing with this right now, something that fell apart in a sense, for lack of a better phrase, or perhaps medically something happened. And so I think right now you perhaps are not pregnant, but I think it's coming. I think it's coming. This feels to me like something in the past, and this is something in the future. So whatever held you back before, whatever kind of stopped things in their tracks and didn't come to fruition, a new thing is coming. So I don't know that you were pregnant right this second, but I do think you will become pregnant. This is the near future in this spread with my 4 cards, unless I declare it as another timeline in my mind when I'm shuffling. So this would imply, this reading would imply nearer future. And there's your Fool coming off the back of that. That looks great, pile 4. So yeah, so the answer is, looks like not right this second, but that it's coming. Now, as always, check with your doctor, make sure things are going well, never make decisions based on a tarot reading, and of course, never play around with your health. Go to the professionals. But the energy right now, that's what the energy right now was showing me. Okay, my friends, I have had a wonderful time doing this pick a card. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. And I want to remind you, I do pick a cards almost every day. I do have a playlist set up, so check it out. There might be a question in there that appeals to you. And as always, I'd like to invite you to come see me at 12 o'clock Central on my show, Tarot at 12, where I do live readings every day. If you have not already, please hit subscribe. Stay connected. I'd love for you to hit the notification bell so you're aware when I do cool videos like these. You have a wonderful day and good luck with everything.